This is the Awakening Word brought to you by Reverend Samson Ajetomobi, the President of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated and Overseer of the Redemption Faith Churches.
So when I say to you most time, nothing encourages a man like answers to prayer. It's an amazing truth. And I'm sure today you will experience answers to prayer.
Reverend Ajetomobi is called by God with a mandate to reach the unreached at all cost and reawaken the church to our responsibilities.
Every gallows the enemy have set up, by the word of God today, they will go into the same pits.
Be blessed.
Nehemiah chapter 5 verse 16. Yea, also I continue in the work of this war. Neither bought we any land, and all my servants were gathered hither unto the work. I continue in the work of this war. I continue in the work of this war. For any healthy relationship, you must keep building the wall to ensure there is no space for crack. Relationship become healthier and stronger when the walls of that relationship is heavily fortified. We've had challenges in relationship because there is a crack. And once there is a crack in any relationship, the lizard can come in, strangers can come in. And so every wise man who wants to build a healthy relationship, same with a wise woman, must continue to build the wall to secure the relationship. Nehemiah testified, I continued. It doesn't matter what our experiences had been in the relationship, we must learn to continue. I continue to walk on this wall. And if I must continue to walk on this wall to a point that all strangers can be fenced away, there are a few things I must consider for a healthy relationship. I continued to build this wall to ensure that there is no crack in our relationship by our in-laws, to ensure there is no crack in our relationship by a friend, to ensure there is no crack in our relationship by pressure from work and all kinds of pressure points. I continue. Healthy relationship is for men and women who make a decision for continual building to ensure no cracks come in. That's very important to note. So you say, I continued to build. I continue to ensure. It's going to be tough at times, but the process is a continual one. It won't happen one day, but your sense of duty will guarantee you a stable, well-protected relationship. Now, when I talk about relationship today, I'm not talking just about the spouse kind of relationship alone between husband and wife. I'm looking at our children. I'm looking at our business partners. I'm looking at people we come across wherever we go every day. Relationship must be built continually to gain confidence of one another, build continually to place value on one another. This is very important to note. So therefore, what must you do if you're going to keep on building the wall to avoid a crack, a crisis, a challenge? Because so many relationships globally today are heavily challenged. For example, in marriage, in my personal opinion, marriage is one of the best offer God has given humanity. to just demonstrate how kind we can be, demonstrate how committed we can be to one another, demonstrate how much sacrifice we can make for one another, to demonstrate how long you can stand in for one another and endure and stand at the end and say, we won. So God's design for relationship is to demonstrate the power of two and the much that two people in agreement can accomplish together. Unfortunately, most of the players in relationship are on a red card. I mean, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 19, talking about Moses, he said, Moses allowed you for a divorce because of the hardness of your heart. Matthew 19. Because of the hardness of your heart. So you start asking the question, what causes hardness of heart? That's what kills relationship. Hardness of heart begins in any relationship when either party becomes selfish and self-conscious. It's all about me, not about us. Then hardness of heart start building up. Hardness of heart start building up when it becomes so clear that all you think about is what you gain out of the relationship, not what we gain out of the relationship. So these are critical issues for considerations if we're going to have a healthy relationship. I have a few counsel to give you, 6 of them, and I do hope that will help you to grow a very strong relationship. So when there's hardness of heart, then any strange thing can happen. And I love the scriptures in Proverbs chapter 13 verse 10. It says, where there is strife, there is pride, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. Now, relationship grows stronger based on accessible advice. Become a confident person as you talk to your spouse. Talk confidently to your spouse. Don't be intimidated talking to your spouse because he's your friend, she's your friend. So be confident talking with one another. The Bible says this is a confidence we even have in him. That if we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. So if God demands us to approach him confidently, then if you're going to have a healthy relationship, you must talk with your spouse or with your partner in a very confident manner. I've seen men or women who talk to each other and they are talking with a lot of fear and they feel intimidated and they feel harassed even by the presence of their spouse. That's not correct. If you're going to have a healthy relationship, you must be confident to talk to your spouse like a friend. Friends are not afraid talking with each other. And if you're a friend to somebody, you don't even consider either you are older or you are younger. You say, it's just my friend. And then we talk confidently. We're not afraid of discussing anything. And one of the benefits of being confident is that you are confident to explain yourself or explain event or explain the circumstances. And when you are not confident, your chance of lying and exaggerating is high. I hope you know that. Because you feel you need to impress, you need to give an impression of what does not exist. Why? You are trying to avoid the anger of the other person. That is not necessary. Be a confident person. Be confident to talk. Be confident to express yourself. That's how to build a strong, healthy relationship. It takes confidence. Don't get intimidated. Be confident as you talk and say all that you know. It will make all the difference. Don't get personal, but discuss issues. If you're going to have a healthy relationship, own up. If you're wrong, if you're right, maintain your position. I've seen situations where somebody is wrong. Instead of admitting you are wrong, the next he says, how about you? You're trying to sound more righteous than me, or you're trying to sound more correct than me, but you're also wrong. Now that's not solving issues. That's getting personal as a defense to cover up for your wrong. So it's great wisdom to talk to each other And when I say talking with each other here, I'm talking beyond spouse discussion. I'm talking about talking as brethren in church, talking as colleagues at work, talking, of course, with your spouse, and talking with anybody you consider as your friend. Don't get personal at that person. Don't crush that person. Discuss the issue on ground. So the question will be, what is the issue on ground? Dinner is late today, for example, in a home setting. Now don't get at her for dinner getting late. As an intelligent, confident man, I want to ask my wife, hey baby, what happened? Why is dinner late today? Oh, there was a lot of traffic. That's a reason. Oh, this happened. I couldn't get what I want to buy on time. Is that okay? And then when I got home, I didn't know gas has finished. Is that okay? What else? Now, that is looking at the issues on ground. Now, that is different from, so you always cook late. In fact, I'm tired of you. Now, you are getting personal. Because the issue is not him or her, the issue is the food was late. So why don't we discuss how food won't be late next time? But when you start getting personal at the person, then you are trying to crush that person. If that person is not confident enough, he will become timid talking to you, and he says, you are my friend. A lady said to her husband in my presence, because the husband is fond of saying, my wife is my friend. My wife is my friend. And for the first time, the lady said to the husband and said, Daddy, I wanted to listen to the truth today. We're not friends. He's just saying I'm his friend, just like a cheap cover-up. You have an idea of how you feel about relationship and how you want good relationship. We're not friends. So how can we be friends when every small thing he abuses me, runs me down, and tells me I don't know anything, I don't amount to anything? What kind of friendship is that? How are we friends? That when he knows I am resting, then he load out endless instructions, things he could easily do, but he won't do it. He will push it at me to go and do it and say to you, you have rested enough. Never say, I don't know why I married you. Don't say that. Never say you never understand anything. There are things you don't say. Don't lead your home with intimidation. A great leader does not intimidate. He encourages everyone to be who they should be. And this is very important. Ask enough questions for clarity before you react. Don't assume you know all the details. Ask enough questions for clarity before you react. I've seen very beautiful relationships strain away because of what I just said to you. Ask enough questions. That's what the Bible tells you in the book of James, chapter 1. Be quick to hear, but slow to anger, but slow to talk. Hear on time, process it properly, and then be ready to speak. So that when you open your mouth, wisdom is found in your mouth. James 1:19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. The word slow to speak here it does not mean speaking slowly, but it means you have internalized what has happened, you understood what has happened, you've checked and asked enough questions, and that is it. A couple of weeks ago, somebody spoke to another person and said, oh, the reason of this is because of this and this and this. And the truth is that wasn't. But the person insisted that was it. That's the pain of assumptions. Don't assume your spouse. Ask enough questions from your spouse. Don't assume your friend. Ask enough questions. When you ask enough questions and you know enough and you feel you have an option of getting angry, please get angry. It will be justifiable. In fact, your spouse will be eager to tell you, I'm sorry. Your friend will be eager to tell you, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen again. I need to respect you and give you your space. So this is very, very critical and important to our daily relationship. Please, it's important you ask enough questions for clarity. For example, somebody told me today, reported to me today, I don't believe my wife. Why don't you believe her? She comes home 10 p.m. every night. What kind of job is that? I say it's dangerous for you to use the word, I don't believe my wife. So the first thing to do is to ask her, hey, baby, what happened to your job schedule? Has anything changed from the normal that I know? Because normally I know you should close for 4 p.m. I've watched you. Last night you were home 10 p.m. The following day, 10 p.m. What's going on? So, well, what happened is after work, I decided to do some extra work to get more money so that we can meet up with the needs in the family. But you'll have told me you've got another additional job. That is asking enough questions, talking as friends. Now compare that to just sledging the armor and said, I don't believe you anymore. That's huge in a relationship. Asking enough questions for clarity so that when you are opening your mouth to talk, you don't say a big thing that you can handle in a short while. If you can shout louder, I will appreciate it. Say this after me. Build relationship. Don't break relationship. Don't break relationship with your spouse. You can be in the same room, the same house, the same bed, and yet not connected. Don't break it, build it. So let me see if I can tell you very quickly some things to consider as ingredient to build and signs that suggest that it's breaking. How do you build relationship? Don't close the discussion channel. Talk enough and over talk if you must. No matter how bad you both feel, don't close the channel of discussion. In your talking pattern, make space for your healing process. How do you build relationship? Learn to dismiss, identify reasons of conflict. Dismiss it. Is that what is getting you angry? I'm so sorry. Let it go. I value you more than these reasons, so let it go. That's how to build relationship. In building relationship, be very, very intentional in giving reasons to guide against reoccurrence of another conflict. There's something I learned a few days ago, and I intend to share it as a proposal to 1 or 2 people. It's called intentional accountability partner with relationships. All relationships that you have, let there be an accountability process in the relationship. You don't have to be accountable to everybody, but look at somebody who is so dear, so close enough, and build an accountability partnership with that person. The greatest strength and instrument of building is the words of your mouth. Is the words of your mouth. I'm sure you've read that psalm before. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable unto thee, O Lord. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart. So every time you want to open your mouth to talk, let the words of your mouth and what? The meditation. Never meditate to do wrong. Let the words of your mouth build and build one another. Connect with each other before you correct. Don't look at somebody at sight and the next thing you want to do is correct. Before you correct your spouse or correct your children or correct your friend or say something to somebody you value, cherish the connecting point before the correction point. A mother wants to spank the baby that has done something wrong, the daughter, for example. The first thing to do is to connect with that baby and say, you know, I love you and I care about you, but we can't tolerate this thing that you have done. So why do you think mommy wants to beat you? Because I spoiled the TV. Is that a good thing you have done? No, mom. I need to beat you so that you can always remember that you have done this wrong. And if it's so remote enough, you don't have to beat. Just acknowledging I have done wrong is enough a rod for a very sensitive child. Hey, my wife, you know you're so dear to me. I can't imagine you doing this. It pained me a lot. But you see, love covers multitude of sin. So trust me, it's covered. But please don't do it next time. Connecting before correcting. Investing into one another. Like a shrewd businessman we do. What do businessmen do? When they want to do investment, they look at the investment. Is it viable? If I put in $500,000, what is the return, the profit returning line? If what I want to put in cannot be justified in the profit returning line, then that's a bad business. Let me keep my money. Think about this in your relationship. The question will be, I want to invest an idea to my family or to my wife or to my husband or to my children. What is the returning line? What profit will it make if I ask my family to do so and so? So investing into one another required a business mindset. For example, if you have invested into a business and it failed, and your spouse invests and it works out well, it suggests your spouse can be a good business manager than you. So push the money to him or her to invest and to manage and to deliver. Now you must invest value into one another. You must invest joy, love into one another. You must invest happiness into one another. You have to do the investment. So it implies if you want joy, honor, respect, blessings in each other, there must be a sower between the two of you. And the time of sowing is never convenient. It's never convenient to sow good attitude. It's never convenient to excuse failures. It's never convenient to dismiss wrong. It's never convenient. Your mind wants you to revenge, and to dismiss that is never convenient. So you start saying to yourself, revenging will be a bad investment. Don't let me do it. Driving away joy in my home because I want to express how I feel won't be a very worthy investment. Let me dismiss it. It's so important that you choose what you invest. Invest into one another what strengthens you more spiritually. Imagine a spiritual competition between husband and wife. Who will finish the New Testament first? And every day you discuss New Testament, just building each other's spiritual life. Imagine investment of praying in the Spirit. The Bible says, he that prays in a unknown tongue speaketh to God. And I said, darling, we need to speak to God. There are too many things we can say to each other. There are too many deep things and many issues. Let's just spend 15 minutes every day praying in tongues. That's a spiritual investment. Let's serve God in this unit. Let's do this. These are spiritual investment. Now, there are physical investment also. There are career investment you do into each other. Darling, I think you should go back to school and read more. End up a lecturer since business terrain is bad. Come on, read more. Go in for your master's, put in for your PhD, and be a lecturer somewhere. And that will be bringing money in. You'll also be able to grow your brain and exercise your brain and be more sound in your reasoning. That is an investment. You can invest into trades and all kinds of businesses just to help one another. You say to your spouse, this amount is available for this investment for you. If you do that, anything you make out of it is all yours. Oh, she's very committed to it. Doesn't want it to fail. Invest into one another. Of late, I find out most of my friends, some of them are professors, some of them are business people. God has helped them in their various careers, and have met about 6 or 7 of them recently, and they said to me, I'm back in school. I say, at 60 what? Doing what? What are you looking for? It's I'm back in school just to get some little more knowledge and just enjoy myself back in school. So I told my wife, I think I need to be back in school too. Let me go get a form. I want to go back to school and learn something new, something more. So I'm looking for admissions. But that's it. Just invest in knowledge, invest in good lifestyle, invest in good culture, good eating manners. Don't eat with bad manners. I was surprised in this city, a very, very gracious woman that I respect so much. The husband would not eat her food. Look at me if you can. The husband won't eat her food. This lady cooks well, but the husband won't eat. They are not quarreling, no. The husband is used to eating, those roadside amala and abula. He will send the driver to go and buy amala and abula by roadside. I couldn't comprehend it. I couldn't. You have a beautiful wife. She cooks very well. She's done very well. But you won't just eat that. Don't say, no, that's too sophisticated. And abula. And that's what you want to eat. And the guy's happy eating that. That's amazing for me. Invest good eating culture in one another. Invest good talking nature, culture in one another. Teach each other to make good presentation in the home. And so, okay, do a presentation for me. And then you listen and criticize it. And say, no, next time, baby, if you want to do this, you do this way, you do that way. That is investing into one another. Investing into each other takes a lot of discipline. I'd like to close you with a few thoughts. Thought number one, your relationship can work and work well if you are willing to pay the price for it. Thought number two, as we close, relationship driven from the place of prayer will find God's mercy and God's attention, even at moments that may be stronger than you can handle. Investment of prayer will bring answer to issues beyond you that you struggle with. Counsel on thought number three, learn to value everyone that comes your way. You never can tell when they will need you or you will need them.
We trust that you've been blessed by this message preached by Reverend Samson Ajetomobi of the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated. We invite you to worship with us every Sunday at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday at the Men of Issachar Vision Incorporated, Olororo, Ojo, Ibadan. Or watch our services online via the Men of Issachar Vision Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on mivradio.com. For inquiries, please call 0808 085 4818 or send an email to mivmandates2010@gmail.com. God bless you.